Hello and good afternoon to all the Tinkerpreneurs, mentors, school teachers, and principals. And we welcome you to another exciting session of Tinkerpreneur. So, throughout the series of sessions, like in the last month, we are currently in the last leg of Tinkerpreneur series. So, you have learned various things. Like we started with skills on AI, four series workshops on AI. Then we had how to build a digital product and what kind of tools you can use, AI-based tools you can use to build your product. After that, we proceeded to business models, marketing, and now we are at a very crucial lecture, crucial workshop that we'll see. So today we have Weber from who is founder of Capital Grid. So what we'll be doing today is that we'll be trying to learn and try to decode what business finance is all about. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Weber. Thanks a lot, Weber, for accepting the invitation to take the session. Over
Thank
to
you so
you
much,
for the
Suman.
next.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be speaking with young minds. Let me allow me to share my screen with the students. Just let me know if my screen is visible.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, I'll just put it on the full screen mode. All good?
Yeah, great.
Hi, students. Good afternoon, and welcome to this session on business finance and accounting. Now, as Sumanji was mentioning, as well as what I understand, is that you have been doing this for now a few weeks, and initially, where you were, kind of given some trainings on the AI, the artificial intelligence thing, which is part of the technical stuff. In the last two sessions, what I understand is that you have been focusing a little more on the business model, how your business model should be there for your company, for your business. And then in the last session, I think it was branding and marketing. So today is finance, and I'll let you know that how important each and every of these sessions, which have been curated especially for you, are for this entrepreneurship kind of a program. When you start your own business, why all of these are so important and so crucial, and I can explain it from my own example, own life's example, and this is where. I'll give you a little bit of background about myself as to you should understand that, kind of why should I listen to Vaibhav. And honestly speaking, at the level which you guys are students, which you guys are today, I was there almost 23 or 24 years back. And I'm very jealous of all of you, because, all these kind of programs were not there when used to be, when I was in this school. Very thankful to the government, very thankful to all these kind of things which are happening, the policies and all, which have made possible for you students at the school level to interact with the people in the corporate world, in the industry, who have been there, who have done that, so that you can go through that bridge, which probably we took a lot of time, very fast, in a very fast way. I actually did my engineering from one of the colleges in Delhi, and then post that, I am a computer science engineer. But back then, when I was doing my engineering, artificial intelligence was just starting. I mean, I remember I had a subject on artificial intelligence, but no one took it very seriously. This is 2007 or 8 I am talking about. Many of you might not be born during that time, or might have just born. But that time, none of us took it very seriously, that, oh, something like this can happen. And see, fast forward 15, 17 years today, and we are seeing that what AI has created in the world, right? So after my engineering, I went for an MBA, and currently I am the founder and CEO of Capital Quill. So I myself have started on this entrepreneurial journey very recently. It has just been not even 3 months. It's just been 2 to 3 months that I've started this company, and I'll tell you the entire thought process as to how I created this and why I created this. Maybe it motivates you also, and it gives you a little bit of an idea as to how your journey in the future can traverse in case you are looking to start up something on your own. But before that, before finding Capital Quill 2 3 months ago, I have worked for almost 13 14 years in these companies. Now, I'm not sure all of you would have heard about these all companies. The Smart Cube was the company where I started working with, then Deutsche Bank, Edelweiss, Wealth Desk, and Share Market. The only company where I'm expecting that you might have heard a little bit about is Share Market, because not as a shared market, but it is a company, it is an offering by PhonePe. Now everybody would know PhonePe, right? So PhonePe started their own another company in broking business, which was called Share Market. But otherwise, I'm not expecting you to know much about this. The only thing which you should pick up from this, which I'll want to tell you, I want to discuss with you, is about Wealth Desk. Now, after working for these Deutsche Bank and Edelweiss and SmartCube, I eventually joined a startup. Wealth Desk was a startup with just 10, 15 people in it when I had joined in 2021. And the reason to join this was that I wanted to do something of my own. And I had no idea how to set up businesses. I was not lucky enough to have these kind of sessions which you guys are having now. So I thought, why not join a company where I can learn the skills right up front, right in the, kind of while I am doing it. Maybe in the future, I'll start something of my own with all these learnings. The Smart Cube, Deutsche Bank, Edelweiss, I was into some kind of a finance job, but it was like 1 lakh people team, 10,000 people team in different companies. And when you are part of such large teams, you only do what you are asked to do, right? But business is the holistic view of it. You create something, then you make a strategy, which is your business model, then you market and you brand it, which is what you did in the last session. And the most important thing is finance. You need to understand that why, what money is it making. I mean, I'll just share one more kind of stuff with you later on in the next slide. But just coming back to the Wealth Desk thing, I gained so much of experience over there in 2 3 years when I was there, that now I could gain that confidence to start something of my own, which is Capital Quill. Now, Capital Quill is very interesting stuff. It is actually the confluence of three different fields. I love teaching. I am a I love educating people. So I took education, my passion, which is it is my passion. And I took finance, which is what I have made my career into. I have got experience into a lot of diverse fields of finance. So bringing my passion, bringing my career skill set, what I have learned, and I am topping it up with some kind of artificial intelligence, because without AI, honestly, not many businesses today are going to flourish. And I'm not saying only AI, it's basically the tech. The tech is very important. So bringing education, finance, and layer it with tech will give a complete holistic business in the world today. And you might have thought of some business ideas, you are already learning about AI and tech and all. It will be immensely useful for all of you. And having said that, now let's move into some kind of the topic which we are handling today, which is the business, finance, and accounting. So guys, what is business? You have already done a couple of sessions on the entrepreneurship side, but if you are passionate about something and you love doing it, you can start something of your own. But in order to call it a business, you need to earn something out of it. It should be for money, it should be for profits, then only it will be called a business. Otherwise, though, you can join an NGO. Otherwise, you can join an NPO, non-profit organization, or non-government organization, NGO and all. So that's not a business, right? That's your just vocational trainer. You are just putting your passion into, or skills into some social work or something. That's not business. When it's a business, it is involving the exchange of product or services for money. Now, only two kind of businesses can be classified into that, or two kind of one is your goods or products, which is a tangible thing which you can see, which you can touch, and all those things, like machinery, like food, or all these kind of businesses would be your goods or products. And then there are services like educational services. You can't see the product, but you can only feel, or you can only hear, touch, see, and all those kind of things you would have read in some kind of class. If I am selling it to you or selling it to my customers for the exchange of money, then this is my business. And what is business finance? This is the backbone of every business, which helps business run smoothly, grow, and make smart financial decisions. Now, think about it like this. Your passion is into, let's say my passion was into education, right? And I thought about, okay, I'll do something in the field of where I'll be training. Let's say my business model could be that, okay, I will be focusing on students who have just cleared class 12th and who want to make a career into finance, right? So I'll be probably training them. So finance and education came together, and I layer it on top with some kind of an AI, where I know that what do students want to learn, and how can students kind of take mock exercises, or how can they evaluate themselves. A lot of things can be done over there for you also. And obviously, when I am launching this, when I am creating that kind of a product, I will incur some kind of expenses, right? And when I am when I've made the complete product and I'm selling it like a subscription, like a buy juice, for example. Buy juice is anyways not in that shape it used to be 4 years back, but just imagine something like that in the field of finance. So I am selling it to the my services to the customers who can be the students for an exchange of money, and that's business finance. So business finance is also when you should know how much money are you going to spend on different items, how much are you going to charge the students or charge your customers for whatever business you are doing, and where is the best utilization of that money is. Let me take an example. Because you guys are in school, I thought taking an example related to the school would be great. See, whatever I know of schools today, most of the schools I know have an annual function. I don't know whether your school has it or not, but 90-95% of schools in India have some kind of an annual function. We also used to have it 20 years, 25 years back when I was doing my schooling. But it was just a function where we used to, kind of do some skits, some orchestra, some exhibition was there. But the concept, the novel concept of setting up your own shop and do a real mock business out of it is something very recently which I have heard a lot of schools are actually promoting. And you guys are very lucky that if you have these kind of setups. So I have taken an example which is a live example. It's a true example which actually I have borrowed it from my nephew. So in his school, they were asked to do whatever they want if they want to make a business out of it. So there was 1 week long annual function in which he decided to start a stall of selling snacks, coffee, and ice cream. There were other items as well. So snacks, they had samosas, they had jalebis, they had poha, they had your kachoris, and coffee was there, hot coffee, cold coffee. There was ice cream, different flavors. So because going to be a 1 week affair, it's going to be a big function. There are a lot of students of other classes and their parents are also, their relatives are also visiting. And obviously, if you have something to eat right in the college, why not? Why not I have the beverages and all? So he started this business. So I've taken that example. Now, when you are going to start these kind of things, you need some kind of ingredients to make samosas. What do you need? You may need potatoes. You may need spices, salt. You may need that maida, atta. For making coffee, you need sugar, you need milk. Similarly, for ice cream, you need refrigerators. So all these are expenses. Without putting in these money, how are you expecting to make a final product until and unless you go to a halwai shop and get samosas and directly serve them? But that's not my understand. That's not what I'm trying to kind of tell you in this example. So my nephew, and probably through this example, you make these items at your home and then go to your school, set up your stall is there, and then you start selling it. So all these expenses which you are, and then these are direct costs. These are the ingredients which are used to make those snacks and sweeteners, the ice creams and beverages. Many schools would not charge student for it to set up a stall, because obviously it's a free place. But I am just kind of relating it to the real world. When in the real world you are opening up a shop, you're opening up a dukan, anything which is there, you are going to pay some rent, right? Until and unless your parents or your someone have just given ki chalo, there is a shop of mine, come and set up a business. But even your father, your parents would have paid for it. Either they are paying rent, or it's their owned kind of a thing. Even if they are owning it, they might have purchased it. Long thing short, just understand that in this example, my nephew was paying some ticket, some small fees to the school to buy that place for 1 week. That okay, in this place for 1 week I am going to set up a food stall, so I need to pay to the school. So that's also one of the cost. Then there are a lot of utensils you will use when you are making those items. So there are costs related to the entire business. You guys might have understood these all things. How much is required, when is it required, who I should procure it from, all these come under business finance. So business finance is a complete umbrella of all these items, and then this is only one part. The other part is how much you are going to earn from it, and then I'll come to that thing later, how you are making revenues. But let's first also understand the accounting. What is accounting? So Okay, business finance means everything where from planning, from expectations of, and then pricing also. Samosa, how much have to, you will be selling the samosa for, whether 10 rupees, 20 rupees, 15 rupees, that also you need to think, right? If you price it too high, maybe people don't take it, or who is going to eat a 50 rupees samosa? 10 rupees if you keep, then it is very cheap. You are not making money. So it's a very, 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 kind of thoughtful decision you need to make, how much you are going to price your ice creams for, how much you are going to price your samosas for, right? All these things, and this is just an example of these snacks and all, but any real life business you are doing, you have to, kind of solve this pricing one thing as well. All this comes under business finance as well. Accounting is basically, now when the stall is set up and you begin to sell items, you keep a record of all items sold. This is called accounting. Basically, accounting will have how much did you spend in order to procure all these ingredients and all these other expenses, and on a daily basis, how much are you making for each sale. And then at the end of the day, you do your quick calculations to see whether you have made money today or whether you have lost money. So that's actually the essence of business, right? Now, importance and need for business finance and accounting. See, business finance helps you make sure you have enough money to run your stall and make a profit. In this, on this line, just hear me out now very, very attentively. When you are starting your business, the money will come later on when you are selling your services or goods to someone. But it's like a chicken and egg problem. If you don't have something to make, to sell, how are you going to earn money? And in order to make that product or service, you need to incur expenses. So where do you get money from? So that's the biggest thing. First, you need to put in some money, put in some funds. This is called capital also in finance language parlance. If you're putting some money, then only you can make something and then you can expect to have something in return. So what is the first source where you can think to get initial capital or initial money? So if I'm starting Capital Quill today, let's say 3 months back, I have worked enough in my life, 12, 13 years, that I have some money of my own, which I have invested, which I have saved over all these years. So if I am starting something, if I want to put some initial capital or initial funds in my company to start working, then I have my own funds which I can use. But let's say if you don't have these kind of money, then who you go into? Who is the second? What is the second source where you can take money from? That is your parents. Given by your parents. If your business idea is good, bad, whatever, your parents will always support you. I thought some internet connection issue was there. So your parents will always
It's fine,
support you.
Vaibhav.
Okay, thanks.
Fine.
Now the thing is that parents won't charge you, won't ask your money back, right? But apart from parents, you can go to your relatives, you can go to your friends. Now, when friends or relatives are giving their money to you, obviously you need to return them back, right? Only parents are those people who won't ask you for money in most of the cases. But if you have friends, if you have relatives, they will give you, let's say, 10,000 to start your business with, and then in next 6 months, 12 months, they expect you to return that money to them. But what's the good thing over there is that there's something called interest, which you all know, that if you are borrowing some money from someone, they may charge you some kind of an interest. Let's assume 10% for the sake of simplicity. So if you are borrowing 10,000 from someone, then you need to pay them 10% on that additionally, which is 1,000. 10% of 10,000 is 1,000. So 11,000 you need to pay them. Now, boss, you are paying 1,000 of your own pocket, but friends and relatives mostly are not going to ask you for these kind of interest. So our next source of funding is your friends and relatives. But how much money they will give? Today they can give you 10,000, they can give you 1 lakh, but tomorrow when you want to expand. So let's take this example of snacks and all. You would have heard about a lot of these kind of companies like Haldiram, Bikaner Wala, or Udupi, or MTR. These all brands started from one small shop, just like what we are discussing, not a college project maybe, but like one small shop. And today you see they're all over India, not only India, they're all over the world. So when you are going to expand more and more and more, you need more capital. And at certain point, your parents, your friends, your relatives will say, boss, enough money, I don't have more money now. Now you need 10 lakh rupees. Then you go to bank will give you at 10% and then you have to return it, but at least you need some funds, right? you can tap into bank. Then there are other sources also which are not, I'm not discussing in this session, basically raising money from this. Some terms you should remember: angel investor, venture capitalist, private equity, IPO. These all terms you'll gradually know when you go to higher classes and you go to your colleges and all. I'm not covering into these days, but these are some sources where you can get money from. Business finance is all about thinking which is the best source where I can get the initial capital from, right? And then how to make the best use of it. Obviously, the strategy guy in your company, if you are the promoter, you have to think about everything. See, I am only the founder of Capital Coil. I'll have to think about business model, strategy, marketing, finance, HR. HR is basically recruiting the right people in order to, kind of grow my business, grow my team. Then there is logistics. All these things I have to think about. And hence it becomes very important to understand the holistic picture. And that is why we are having all these sessions also. Otherwise, they would have just stopped by kind of teaching you the technical things. And what was the use of business models and marketing and HR on finance sessions? Because in order to make yourself know about the various legs of the business, how the business actually functions. You may not do everything, but you should know everything as a founder, because otherwise anybody can make a fool of you, right? Okay, I know this works like that, you don't know, but you should know everything at least at the basic level. That is why we are having this basic presentation today. So now you understood what business finance is, and then getting that money from those people and then putting it into the right kind of uses. That's all. And then expecting, okay, today I sold 10,000 worth of samosas. Can I sell 15,000 worth of samosas tomorrow? If yes, how? Right? In 1 month, I have sold, okay, now forget about the 1 week example. Let's say in 1 month, I have sold some X number of items. How can I and what can I do in order to do 2x in the next, double in the next month? How can I do more double in the third month? This is all thinking about, can I reduce my prices? Should I make my product a little better? If I want to make a product a little better, or let's say in samosas, I am also adding some kind of nuts, cashew nuts, kaju and all. So because they are expensive, if I add them, can I price my samosa from 20 to 40 now? Whether people will be taking it or not. All these kind of decisions are a part of your strategy, plus the business finance team will also sit into that. Next, let's come to accounting helps. Acha, okay, one more thing. Now let's assume that initially you took 10,000 rupees from your parents and relatives to start your snack at your college or at your school. First day, you made enough, you sold enough samosas, kachoris, jalebis, ice creams and all, that you made 20,000 that day, first day. Now, at the end of the day, when you are putting up your calculations and you suddenly find, oh, I made 20,000, but I had taken 10,000 from my friend. So with that 20,000, you return the 10,000 back to your friend, and remaining 10,000 you again used to buy more, some more potatoes and milk and sugar and see, most people who buy milk and potato, they generally get, their shelf life is very small, right? They just get spoiled after 1 day or 2 days. So you always need to buy fresh. That is why your customers will be happy when you are giving them a fresh product, right? So next day, using that remaining 10,000 you've already given to your friends. Next day, with remaining 10,000, you again go and buy more. And then again next day you made 20,000, but now you don't need to return to anybody. So your business profits are now funding your business. So now money is coming through your money. And this is what business is. That once you pay off your loans to everybody, whosoever needs to be paid, whosoever you took initial capital from, your business will fuel your business. So that is where you become a successful business person or an entrepreneurship. Coming to the accounting helps you know if you made or lost money, where your money went. So I am telling you all good stuff. But what if you can't sell enough samosas? Your samosas doesn't taste so well. Your ice cream melts, or it doesn't have enough sugar. People are not buying it from you. Then you make a loss also, right? So businesses are not always that it is making money. You need to be very smart enough that what will work for your customers. And accordingly, at the end of the day, when you are doing some kind of calculations, you will understand, oh, I had put in 10,000, but I could only sell for 8,000 today. So 2,000 is the loss which you have done, which you have made today. So tomorrow, if you again go back and you need 10,000 more, 8,000 obviously you have returned it back. You still have to return 2,000 more back because you have not returned the entire money back. Now that 2000 plus 10,000 more, after 2, 3, 4 times, your friends will say, you are not making money. That why should I keep on giving you money because you are not returning me also. So it's very important to make your business successful. But all this accounting, business, finance will give you an idea whether it is becoming successful or not, and what you should do to make it a little more successful. So without business finance, you might run out of money to buy more ingredients, and without accounting, you won't even know if you're actually making a profit. So whenever you're starting something, in this example of our food stall, there are three components largely. One is you, who is the owner of of your stall. One is your customer, who are the students buying from your stall, or parents maybe. And the other is supplier, which is a local vendor selling you the ingredients like potatoes and all. Now, what you need to be careful, you need to consider is that you are making more money from this leg, from customer to owner, is making more than what you are paying to your supplier. So this is just simple equation where what you are paying to the supplier, you are making more from the customer. Then only the business will be successful, correct? Now let's understand some kind of a bank basics. You'll understand it later on when you'll study in maybe commerce or account subjects. If some of you would be in grade 11th or 12th, you all know that already. One is credit, one is debit. Simple words. Money flowing in is called credit. Money flowing out is called debit. When we start doing businesses and all, when we start interacting with the senior folks in banks and all, we generally use terms like credit and debit, and not like how much money is coming, how much money is going out. We just have that parlance of, kind of credit and debit over there. And then obviously you do some kind of account transactions, which is opening balance, closing balance. Now here I have taken the example as a month, but you can take as a week, daily, monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, annually, any kind of fixed, kind of a duration, which you keep on recurring. In that stall example, I was just doing that opening balance, closing balance on a daily basis, but generally many people do it on a monthly basis. So if you are doing on a monthly basis, you keep on writing daily your account transactions somewhere. Now that somewhere used to be 50 years back, it used to be a paper and pen. Then 20, 25 years back started with Microsoft Excel and all. So you started putting in some kind of spreadsheet, Microsoft Excel. Lately, what has happened is that in the last 5, 10 years, a lot of these new apps have come up where you, whatever, kind of payment you are doing or the money you are receiving, that is captured by those apps. We are going to discuss the apps towards the last of the session, that which are the apps which are doing that, and how can you do something like that better. But ultimately today you are making most of your payment through the QR code, through UPI, all is net banking. So your phone is, your AI model would be, kind of tech model would be capturing every kind of payment which you are getting in, money which you are getting in, money which is, you are spending. So this opening balance, closing balance is today is a matter of just seconds, but it used to take a complete day in early 19 to early 2000s or late 1900s, when technology was not there. So everything is sped up, that. Food stall business cycle, you already know, we have already discussed this. That So I have taken owners over here as the class, basically, not you, or maybe the class can come up as the entire 2, 3 students or friends or whatever. There's a supplier interaction, customer sales, revenue generation, decision making. All of this we have already discussed. Now we have discussed this slide already, but let's put it some formal terms. Financial components of a snack stall basic terms, or any business basic terms, is revenue. So that is the income which is from selling snacks. All money collected, let's say 10,000 or 1,000 from sales. Then obviously there is something which is expenses we have discussed, which is the costs for ingredients and supplies. Money spent 600 on potatoes and sugar and all. And then finally there is something called purchase, which is buying ingredients and supplies, buying items to sell. So you are just buying, you are purchasing something, you are making the end product, and then you are selling it to the end customers. Three documents which you should be aware about. And honestly speaking, when I was working in different companies, I did not have much idea about these. Imagine, because it's not my job. But now when I am working, I've started something of my own. These words are so much used on an everyday basis, 10 times, 20 times, that I need to know basics of it. So one is the purchase order. What happens is that if you have given service to someone, then the customer will send you a purchase order, which is, purchase order is a document that is sent by a buyer to a seller to purchase a product or a service. They will give you purchase order and will have some purchase order ID and will say, okay, I want to buy 100 samosas, right? So it is sent before the delivery. So when you receive that purchase order, oh, that piece of document, I have the purchase order now, then you will supply your samosas. The purchase order contains customer contact details, product ordered, quantity, other details. Clear? And then when you are selling your samosas, then you also send your invoice. What is invoice? Asking money from the customer. So customer isn't paying it upfront. In food stalls, everybody will come and give you UPI ID or cash or whatever. But I'm talking about big businesses. They don't have ready cash to pay, like cash goes in lakhs and crores, right? So it is always transferred a little later. So an invoice is a document which is now sent by the seller to the buyer after a product or service is delivered. So I have as a seller sold 10,000 samosas or whatever number of samosas, and then I will send that invoice and ask for payment, right? It includes the item sold, prices, total amount, and payment terms. So these are documents which are very much important in order to have the smooth functioning of collecting the payment and sending the payment. That's called invoice. And then once you have received that, it's a payment receipt, which is a payment receipt is given by the seller after receiving payment from the buyer. So the third step would be that after receiving the invoice, your buyer will send you money either through net banking or through credit card or whatever source or cash, and then you send a payment receipt. Okay, I have received it. A payment receipt, anything you buy these days, if you go to a shop, they will give you some kind of receipt, right? It's nothing but that only. So it confirms that the payment was made and includes the date, amount, and payment method. So these three business documents are very important for you to know. Then there's financial transactions overview. Understand this pretty clearly. So payment can be something which money can be received. You are a seller, you are receiving the money either through cash or through online mode. Or the money can be paid through cash the money can be received through cash or online mode, and the money can be paid through cash or online mode. These days, generally, we prefer online mode rather than cash. But it's basically the payment to and fro, what I'm talking about. But one thing is like receivable, like not always that the buyer will pay you entirely. So if you are selling samosas, 10,000 samosas worth, let's say each samosa is 20 rupees. So that becomes 2 lakh rupees. The buyer will say, I will pay you 1 lakh right now and 1 lakh after 1 week. You are okay because you are getting a bulk order, right? Okay, I've received like 1,000 samosas. Even if he is going to pay 50% later on, you are okay within 1 week. So for 1 week, that money which you have not paid will be called receivables. And lot of businesses, guys, lot of businesses work on huge receivables and payable. Payable I'll also come to the next, but no, very rarely someone will pay you upfront or someone will pay you immediately as you deliver. It only happens with very small businesses. When you grow your businesses larger, people will give you a 30-day notice or a 10-day or 15-day, sometimes 60-day, that I'll pay the money after 30 days. Now you manage how you want to manage. And when you have already sold something to someone and you're not receiving money for 30 days, no, this is where you need more capital, because you are expecting money to come, but that will come 30 days later. So how are you going to function for those 30 days? This is where business finance concepts also come in, that for 30 days, how are you going to get money from? Where are you going to get money from? That you need to know how to fund it for 30 days. That money, once it comes after 30 days, wherever you have taken this money from, return it. So this is where when you are going to get money for the unpaid snacks. But what is payable? Payable is opposite. When you are going to procure potatoes or sugar or milk from your supplier, you can also do the same to them. You can say, boss, I am buying in bulk. I will not pay the entire amount. I will pay only 50% right now and 50% after 1 week. So you have solved that equation, that, okay, when you are receiving, then only you pay. But your supplier has to also agree, that you as a seller agreed with the buyer, but as a supplier, your supplier should also agree with your terms. No, that only happens when you are either you have good terms with the supplier, with your vendor, or you have put a very huge order that supplier also becomes very heavy. Okay, one shot I am going to give 100 kgs of potatoes, right? So money owed to suppliers for unpaid ingredients. Profit and loss, we have already discussed. Did my business make money or lose money over a period? It's like a summary of all your sales and all your costs. It helps you to see if your business is working and if you are pricing things correctly. Now, there are two kind of expenses you should think about. One is your direct expenses, which is your, or also called variable expenses, which is the potatoes or the milk or all these sugar, which you are using to make the X number of samosas. So if you have to deliver 100 samosas, you will have lesser potatoes, lesser milk, sure, sorry, salt and all. And when you want to deliver 10,000 samosas, you want to have more potatoes, you need more salt, more atta, maida and all. So basically these are variable things which will depend upon how big your sales would be. But then there is something called which is fixed cost. What is fixed cost? Your gas, your stove, right? Your gas cylinder basically, or your utensils, yeah, your room or the place where you are doing, because this is only one time payment, right? Or maybe it's like you will replenish after 3 months or 6 months, it works longer. So for 10,000 samosas also you are serving in that kind of same room for 100 also. So those are fixed expenses or one time expenses. Maybe they recur, but not like variable, which actually is very tied up with how much number of sales you have done. Anyways, it helps you to see if your business is working and if you're pricing things correctly. Then the one of the most important things again comes as a balance sheet. See, all the financial statements have three things. One is profit loss statement, one is balance sheet, and the third one is cash flow statement, which we'll discuss in the next slide. Balance sheet is basically how much money how much things you own and how much you owe. Basically, whatever you own, OWN, whatever you own is called asset. Asset is something which is expected to make money for you in future. And whatever you owe is something you need to give. It's not yours. A business has to be, the balance sheet has to be balanced. How much you own should equal to how much you owe. But how? Then how am I making profit? This is a very important question. So let's say, very crude example. I think we can show it on Excel, but let me just try to explain because time is less now. You start your snacks business. You buy machinery, you buy potatoes and everything. So those are your asset because you are going to use them to earn money, but they are all worth 10,000. The 10,000 was initially given to you by your friends. So balance sheet is balanced, asset 10,000 and whatever you owe to your friends, it's called liability. That liability is also 10,000. Then there is another component which is called equity. So basically liability plus equity is equal to asset. So you can owe the money to two different parties. One, like friends or the banks or anybody who you have taken money from, who are not the owners of the company. Your friend, your banks are not the owners of the company. Owner is you. If you had also put in your own capital, now let's assume you had put in your own 5,000 and you have borrowed 5,000 from your friends. So liability becomes 5,000 because your friends are not the owners, and equity becomes 5,000 because it is owned by you. So the business, the entire ABC Limited or whatever your business name is, your business sees you as an owner. And this balance sheet is for not for you, it's for the business. So I hope this is clear. So as a business, you see that this business holds 10,000 worth of assets, which is potatoes, tomato, all the ingredients. 5,000 you owe to your friends. This business owe to the friends of you. And this 5,000 it owes to you as the owner. That's your money. So balance sheet is balanced. 10,000 equals to 5,000 plus 5,000. Now you made 10,000 profit. What happens? That let's say you give your 5,000 back to your friends, liability becomes zero. But what happens is that you made a 5,000 profit because 5,000 is already paid to the friends. 5,000 profit comes as your money. So your money goes 5,000 plus 5,000, 10,000. Assets remain same because it's basically next day also you have to purchase. So assets 10,000, now liabilities is zero and equity is 10,000. Basically, the idea is, it might sound very complex to you as of now. I am just trying to put some terms in your mind so that whenever you are going to read it next, you will think that, oh, Weber had told this, right? So you can start making some connections. So it's okay to know the terminology, not to go deeper into that, but I think that's enough for now. The balance sheet needs to be balanced. That's the only idea. That is why the name balance sheet. So just read this. Balance sheet shows what does my business own and owe at a specific point in time. It's like a snapshot of your business financial health on a particular day. And it consists of asset, which brings money in your business, liability, which takes away money from your business, and equities, which is owned by shareholders or the owners of the company, which is you. And the final statement is like cash flow statement. Like, so the most important statement is cash flow statement, because cash flow doesn't have receivables, payables and all. It is basically cash or net banking or whatever. I'm just calling it cash. basically the real money which you own and the real money which you owe. So where did my cash come from? Where did it go during the entire that period, let's say 1 month, 1 year, whatever? It tracks the actual money moving in and out of your bank account. So a lot of times, a lot of businesses in India, the established business, I'm telling you about the real thing, they will keep on selling something to some customer, but they are never paying. So if you keep on selling, and the customer is not paying within 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, 1 year, what happens is that although you will show that I have done sales of 1 lakh rupees, for example, but all that sales is in your receivables. You have not received cash. If you have not received cash, how are you going to utilize the money for growing your business? So more receivables is also not great for your business also. So cash flow statement becomes very important then. Very advanced topic. Cash flow statement can be divided into operating, investing, and financing activities. I'm not touching it at all, but remember these three terms. And finally, just wanted to touch upon like a career and future in finance. So see, this is a webinar on the series on your entrepreneurship kind of a thing. So you don't need to think about career and future in finance because then how are you going to make your own stuff? It's your future is your business. But many times not everybody will be kind of starting off their own. So there are a lot of few careers in finance where you can become a chartered accountant, you can become a financial analyst, tax consultant, audit manager. And finally, I've put in where I would want all of you who is listening to this should become an entrepreneur or a business owner. Students, folks, friends, try to give jobs to people, not become a job seeker, become a job giver, right? So this is a very important and strong mantra. Be a job giver. Think about that tomorrow, after 5 years, 10 years, when I will become a businessman, I'll become an entrepreneur. I will probably hire 50 people because of your effort, because of your business. 50 households will start earning. They will give so much of, thanks to you that because of Mr. ABC, whosoever your name, what is your name, because of them, my house is running. So always see, India has a lot of people, there are a lot of job seekers, but try to become a job giver. This is what government is also trying to focus on. This is why they are trying to focus on entrepreneurship as well. There's a lot of tools you can use, whatever we kind of discussed in the session. You can use simple paper and pen, but nobody use paper and pen these days. You can use simple Excel or Google Sheets, like making a simple table on your computer to list all your sales expenses and all. You can use, there are apps like Khata Book. See, I'm not promoting these apps, but this is something which I could find on the internet. How are these? Are they good or not? I don't know. But there's Khata Book, OK Credit, Digi Khata, Zoho Books. These apps are like smart digital diaries designed just for business money. You just type in what you sold or bought and it does the calculations for you. So as I said, these days it's very simple because most of the payments is online. So they just capture your money flowing in and flowing out, and they will give you calculations ASAP as soon as possible. And then there are mobile payment app, as we already discussed, Google Pay, Phone Pay, Paytm. While not accounting software, they automatically keep a record of your payments and money received. And finally, artificial intelligence in business. AI can help you making bills, checking. So how can AI help in this snack business? Now I'll stop here. This is my last slide. I'll stop here. I want you guys to now ask questions to me, and also some people should write how AI can be used in snack business. Think about how you can use AI in snack business. Think about it and write it in the chat box, and we'll discuss the good answers. Sumanji, I am done. Are there any questions yet?
Thanks a lot, Vaibhav. Like really a very exciting session. And like I've been receiving comments from not only students but also mentors of Tinkerpreneur that like the examples you have used are very relatable and crisp concepts that you have explained. So thanks a lot for taking the session. Like
My
I
pleasure.
too got to learn a lot about business finance personally from the session. Uh, and the way you ended, that was the most asked question actually on our chat. So it was like most of the questions were related. Can we use AI to simplify our business finance problem? Like, are there like, shall we rely on ChatGPT? Shall we go on Gemini and just ask like how we can, this is my product and how I can simplify my business finance using AI? What do you recommend regarding it? This is the
Wonderful
most asked
question.
question.
And this is, yeah, it has to be the most asked question these days. AI has simplified life so easily and so well that now people can really think to become entrepreneurs. See, there were a lot of issues that there are a lot of things we don't know how to start a business, how to do these calculations. But today you ask anything to chat GPT, it will give you answers in few seconds, right? And what I use a chat GPT a lot. For the past 1 year, 1.5 years, I have been using chat GPT in my work and setting up my own business. Basically, like questions like, okay, I am starting some business of my own. How to start from registering a business till the compliance level, give me the idea. But see, these are good stuff which which chat gpt and gemini and all will support you to kind of help you in order to make your business a little your processes a little faster, so that you are not stuck in searching on Google hundreds of website, reading 50-page documents and on how to do that. Chat gpt will give you in few seconds. But what chat gpt won't give you, or the AI won't give you, is the business model. You should not ask ChatGPT to give me a good business model to start business from, because then it is giving it to everybody. No, I mean, thousands and lakhs and crores people are, agar they start asking ChatGPT give me a business model, they're not going to give you a unique business model to everybody or a unique strategy to everybody. So you should have your own thought as to where your passion lies and what you want to do, which kind of customers you want to serve, and then use chat gpt in order to validate whether you are doing it correctly or not, and whether you have missed something or not. Let's say, for example, this Capital Quill, which the company which I am currently working on, it's into the education of, as I said, people who are doing grad or post grad. Now I can ask ChatGPT, okay, these 3 or 4 segments of clients I have thought about. Who all other than that can I tap in? Maybe I might have forgotten 1 or 2 points, because I am a human mind, right? Artificial intelligence, artificial mind will always be faster and sharper and will remember everything, because it actually does not remember in mind, it remembers in the cloud. Now the point is that these kind of things are good. If you are writing an email, use ChatGPT, right? You might not be the best writer. I mean, why to kind of rely on him? And then also you are going to take 30 minutes to do that. Get ChatGPT do in 5 minutes. Now, like I said, how to simplify business finance. Now, business finance, what I can do is, let's say I have run the business for 6 months. Basically, I'm answering what I've asked people. So, Sumanji, you let me know whether someone has responded to my question or not. If not, then I'll answer. Otherwise, you just read out the answers to me.
As of now, no one yet.
Okay, so I'll tell you. So, what you can do in snack business is that you can tell ChatGPT, you can run that business for a month or 2 months, and then you can tell ChatGPT that, okay, X number of people came on that particular day. Let's say a Monday, least number of people are coming on Monday, because it's a Monday, it's a working day. Not everybody will come to, I'm not talking about college now, I'm talking about a proper setup, proper restaurant business, right? They can also tell you, you can observe for few months or few weeks that what time most people are coming in. You can tell ChatGPT, or you can observe in your accounting thing what is the maximum sold item. Once you have sufficient data for 1 2 months, you can feed all that data to ChatGPT or Gemini or any AI model, and then they will give you an extrapolation of how much milk you should buy the next day, how much potatoes you should buy the next day, so that it does not get spoiled, how many people are coming, in what time they will come. So if they are coming, let's say at 7 to 8 p.m., 7 to 8 p.m. would be the maximum number of footfalls you will get in your business. So that means hire someone to give you extra support in 7 to 8, so that you have enough number of servers who are giving you waiters or something. So artificial intelligence can help you project your businesses, kind of this. The second usage of artificial intelligence also, what I have seen is that CRM, which is customer relationship management, a little advanced topic for the students over here, but if there are teachers, there are mentors, they will understand that if you are having customers who are coming to you daily base, or regularly, you can have their details, you can have phone numbers, you can have their email addresses, and you can just, whenever you are launching some new things, your system automatically sends some kind of, data. Now, you know that if I am buying samosas every day and not jalebi, that means I am not liking sugar or sweet products, right? So if I introduce Rasagulla, probably I will not reach out to that client. But if I introduce, let's say, some chips or some snacks, some namkeen, then probably I'll reach to those guys, because my chances to get those customers visit my restaurant becomes higher. So using all these data, you can create so many models in order to make your business a little better. So artificial intelligence in itself is nothing, but if you club it, if you top it on your business model, it will do wonders to you.
Thanks a lot, Vaibhav. That actually covers everything that I would ask. Another question that has come up is that, like, as a business owner, how can I protect myself from financial and accounting mistakes or frauds? Are there any specific things that I need to keep in mind?
So Manjay, I just missed your first part. So if you can
Yeah.
just repeat.
So it's like, as a business owner, how can I protect myself from financial accounting mistakes or frauds? That is,
Okay. Okay. So see, financial accounting frauds, firstly, you need to understand, you need to trust the apps or trust the AI what you are using, right? Most of them are trustworthy these days because more and more security is being added. There are a lot of regulations. RBI and kind of all these government regulation entities will have a lot of regulators who are looking into कि कोई fraud ना हो जाए and all. So one thing obviously you can rely on them, but do a daily basis or do a weekly basis check. These days everything you are getting on SMSs, everything you are getting on emails, you have your own email or the login portal or IDs. You need to continue to every, at least if not every day, every Saturday spend 1 hour to just check if everything is in place or not. And immediately, as soon as possible, you find some kind of discrepancy, just raise it with the people who are concerned, right? If the money you were supposed to get in your account has not hit your account because of some accounting fraud, just raise it to the RBI, right? They will do something, or your bank, not RBI straight away, maybe raise it to your bank first, and then RBI ombudsman or something that is people students would have seen on the TV and all. You raise it with the concerned authorities. And these days, okay, another usage of AI. Lot of times during our days also, Samanji, you would agree, we did not even know कि जाना किसके पास है, who should I go to, right? But these days, just type in chat GPT, okay, this is what has happened, who should I go to? They will give you the answer. Your 2 day, 3 day job, or you will do a phone call to, yeah, this has happened, who should I go to? All gone. Just ask ChatGPT and go to the person direct. ChatGPT will also give you links to where you should click and how you should log in. And you can trust ChatGPT because they are not going to go after your accounting frauds.
yeah. Thanks a lot. I think we have room for one more question.
Sure.
Time allows, yeah. So the last question is, like, how much granularity in finances do we need to account for? Like, do we need to account for each and every small expense, or can we, like, sum them up as other or miscellaneous expenses in business finance?
So initially, when you're growing your business, I think each and every account should be, each and every transaction should be monitored, right? Once you have sufficient data, like 1 year or 2 years basis, that okay, my big ticket items are being these XYZ items, right? For now, for example, in the last 2 3 months that I've started my own thing, even a subscription amount of 500 per month, or if I am doing something for 1,000, I keep a record. I keep bills also, everything. But as in, let's say 3 years down the line, I make it as a 1,000 crore business. Then maybe rupees 100 or rupees 1,000 won't matter to me that much. Although it is very important because balance sheet needs to be balanced. That 1,000 rupees difference should also not be there. But it's not your job anymore. You should have people looking into that because now your job needs to shift from accounting and financing and business finance to strategy making, business models, all these kind of things. So this is where AI also comes into the picture because it will give you a correct balance of everything. So if there is a mismatch of 500 rupees, let's assume in a business of 1,000 crore, you're not that much fussed. But when you have a 10,000 rupees business and a 500 is a discrepancy, that you need to be worried about because that's 5%.
Yeah, and one very interesting question has just come up. So it says that, like, I'm a business owner and I've done business with an organization. So how do we, like, he owes me money, but he's not paying me. Are there any legal means to recover that, or are there any legal methodologies to do it, or should I just forget it?
So lot of people undergo this issue where you have done your own work, but you are not getting paid, and it's a very painful thing because you're not able to concentrate on your next thing also because वहां से पैसा आना है and I have to get something from and it's stuck. What you can do is, whosoever asks this question, is that when you did that business, were there some kind of written stuff which was there or some kind of an agreement, right? For example, if I do some consultancy to someone, I only do it when there is a written agreement or something where the clauses are very easily defined. Initially, whosoever is doing business will not understand the value of it till the time first jhatka comes to them, right? That one time issue will always you will remember, and from next time you will start giving value to those agreements and to the legal kind of a thing. Uh, yes, you can take the legal action, but then you have to have proofs. You have to have that you have given this kind of a service or goods to the customer and all. It will be a lengthy process if there is no legal agreement, but ideally you should be able to get that money fighting the cases or something like that. But it's going to be, so if it is very small amount, I would say ignore it. But if it's a substantial amount, please fight for it.
Great. Thanks a lot, Vaibhav. I know like we are short on time and you have a meeting to attend just after this. So thanks a lot, Vaibhav, for like explaining all the questions with so much patience and being so crisp about all the techniques and the like methodologies for business finance. I hope this will help the students, mentors, teachers, and principals a lot in their development of the AI products. So once again, thanks a lot from on behalf of Atal Innovation Mission as well as the whole Tinkering Labs team. It was great having you. Any last piece of advice you want to give? Like these students are going to build AI products in the next 2 weeks. So they've already started. So they'll be submitting their projects in the next 2 weeks. Any last thoughts or suggestions you would like to give in a sentence?
See, because these guys would be almost 25 years younger to me, and I see myself stepping into their shoes. Had I been into their shoes, what would I have done? Guys, do take these seriously, but not serious enough because you have entire life left. Failures will be there. There might be immense number of failures for the next. I mean, you should utilize your initial 10 to 15 years from now, the next 10 years of your life to experiment and fail. Because when you do things, when you fail, you will learn the most. Just like I mentioned for that business frauds and all, till the time you are failing, you will be very overconfident that, oh, whatever I do, it's a Midas touch, whatever I touch becomes gold. But then there can be another thing also. If someone is repeatedly failing for 2 times, 3 times, they just lose hope and they think that they are not good for. ऐसा नहीं है. Some people, even at their age of 50 or 60, they've started successful businesses. You guys have started way early in your life. One thing I'm jealous of all of you, and the another thing I'm so happy that in India we will have so many young people coming up with immensely is going to help the entire country. And I hope many of the people who are a part of AI Tinkering Lab or AIM, they come out with some successful long-term business plans. And all the best. Don't lose hope. If you are not successful, just stick around. If you stick around, you'll be successful for sure.
Thanks a lot. And main thing is that like we need to make failure very much acceptable because failures are the stepping stones towards creating our own. So thanks a lot,
Exactly.
Vaibhav, once again. Like it was great and enjoyable session.
My
Thanks a
pleasure.
lot from the
Thank you so much.
Innovation
Thank
Mission
you so
team.
much,
All
everybody.
the
Bye.
yeah, all the best to all the Tinkerpreneurs, and we'll meet you soon in the next session. All the best and have a great day.